Welcome back! It is time today to talk about the brand new Viltrox 13mm f1.4, which is this, let's just say, beauty over here. Now, I put my hands on this lens for the first time yesterday, and I could only shoot for a couple of hours right after I bought it. So this is going to be my very first impressions on this lens. Don't rely, don't base your purchase out of just this video. I'm gonna push out a full review later once I understand the lens and I can tell you more about it. But let's start with the build quality. The build quality is really good. It's the best Viltrox lens that I've seen yet, at least for the Fujifilm system. It is built very well. The hood is metal and the aperture is clicky, so very well done. It feels solid in the end, and it doesn't weigh too much. It's more than 400 grams, around 420 if I'm not wrong, but it's not that bad. You can see it here on the XT30, just for the sake of size, and of course on the XT30, which is a very small camera, this looks a little bit front heavy. And it kind of is, but not too bad. I'm showing you a picture on how it looks on an XT4 so that you can compare with a bigger camera how that looks like. And if you just compare it to the Samyang 12mm f2, there's no comparison. That is way smaller and way lighter than this. But again, there's a stop of difference. And that lens didn't convince me too much. This one, again, this is based only off of my very first impressions. Seems to focus very well, seems to be built very well. From an optical standpoint, it seems to be sharp even at even a wide open at f1.4, even in the corner, which is kind of surprising. I did not expect it. From an optical perspective, the lens maintains its sharpness throughout the aperture range. Even at f16 is very usable, at least seems very usable. Again, I shot only a few shots, so it's not my final verdict on it. But optically, it seems good. It's kind of subject to ghosting and it suffers flares, which is something you can expect on a super wide angle, super wide open lens. It's one of their weak spots, but it's not too bad. And it seems that purple fringing it's there, don't get me wrong, but it's kind of decently controlled. You're seeing it a couple of pictures right now. It gets better as you stop down. Again, too early to speak. It's just my first impression, but that's what I got from the first pictures that I took. The focal length seems to be not too wide. I mean, it doesn't have that super wide angle tunneling that kind of draws you into the scene, but it's wide. And this is kind of good because it doesn't distort too much. And overall, it seems to be well built. One thing that I noticed though, the focus seems to be good as well. But again, I need to test it more. One thing that I noticed, which I hope can be fixed via firmware, is that you start using the lens, you rely on what you're seeing on your screen or your eyepiece or the histogram. Then when you half press the shutter button, what you think was the exposure you had selected shifts. Usually gets brighter. The image that you, if you shoot right after, the image gets brighter. So you have to adjust to that. And it's not pleasing because I'm used not to do that. I mean, I can trust what my camera does with Fuji lenses without problems. So the fact that I have to think about it makes me feel a little bit nervous. I think I can adjust to it, but it's not right. It doesn't sound right. Again, maybe this is gonna be fixed via firmware. For what concerns pictures, that as much as I can tell you, I cannot really tell you that much, other than the Sunstar seems to be decent, but nothing to write home about. And the sharpness, although it is sharp, forget the sharpness, the wow factor sharpness that you get from the new 18 or 33 millimeters, or I guess the 23. They're not on the same level, but this was somehow to be expected. And it comes at 500 euros, so it costs half the price. We can expect it. So now, if you want to know more about video, let's get outside and you will see the video before I get to see. We've left pictures behind. Right now I'm vlogging with the 13mm F1.4 by Viltrox with face recognition and stabilization, the normal stabilization. I'm not using the electronic stabilization nor the boost. So that's the normal stabilization you would get without cropping the frame. So what do you think about it? So I edited this video so that this is going to be the last part, and I won't get to see, at least I won't get to talk about it before you see it. So you're seeing this before I'm seeing it. So I want to know in the comments below what you think about it. Does it track good? Is it pleasing? Is it any acceptable for you? Right now I'm f2, but now that it's darker, we can go even f1.4. There you go. How does it look? Is it usable for vlogging? What do you think? Again, let me know down below. Now I'm gonna switch to the electronic stabilization just to see if you can spot any difference. One thing that I want you to notice is if there's any warpiness in the corners here or there, because this is what usually happens when stabilizing wide angle lenses. It is important that it doesn't do that effect and it doesn't go back and forth with focusing. And now we're in with the addition of the digital image stabilization. Does it look any better? Does it show any warpiness? Again, what do you think? Would you use it? From the screen I can see that it's tracking pretty nice, and it doesn't seem to add too much warpiness at the corners, but on a small screen it's hard to tell. I want to know, what do you think? Again, let me know. And since this is going to be the last part of the video, don't forget to subscribe, because of course I'm going to push out the full review as soon as possible, and I have a lot of videos coming. So if you don't want to miss those, don't forget to subscribe, leave me a like, and leave me any comments that you think, anything you want to know, anything you want to ask for my review. And share the video if you think that it can be helpful to someone. Bye, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.